Okay, and this one is going to be all about CSS, mostly about CSS. I'm going to come back to the JavaScript at the end of it, but for now, let's just keep it at CSS. So let's make a new CSS file. Let's call it calendar borders.css. Okay, for now I'm not going to be using it. Like usual, I will do it all here internally, and then when it's all working, I'll just put it in here. Okay, so let's just say first calendar tbody tr td. Whoops. So everything that has the class of color. So this is taking the t-body and then all the TRs inside the t-body, then all the TDs inside the t-body that have a class color. So this little star here is just saying, it's just making it so that you could have, so that the color just needs to appear anywhere in the class. So if the first class that it has is something else, even though this is more of a precaution, because we're probably not going to have any of these TDs that have any other classes, but this is just so if it did, that if your first class wasn't color, this wouldn't work. So doing this is more, it's just a safer way of doing it. Okay, so for here, border right 1 pixel solid, say white. Okay, a lot of this is going to be the same actually, so I just want to copy this. And I should have copied this as well, but it's okay. Class has color, and it's the first child. So border left color, let's make it inherit. Yep, that's not right because you could already tell. Okay, so this is, like I said, it's really specific CSS stuff right here. It's just for little things here and there. Border color, this should be border left color. So let's see what this looks like. Just refresh it. Okay, so it's looking pretty good already. You could see it's doing some stuff, but right here, this isn't ready. There's a couple things. And I don't know if you notice this, you probably can't, but once I point it out, you might notice it. But this 24th, the right is white. 25th, the right is white. 26, 27, and 28. This is white too, so it's sort of, you don't want that. You can't see it as well right now, but later on when we start changing the theme, and you have a lighter theme, you could see these black borders a lot more better, and you want this border right here to be black. So it'll be separating everything that's in the current month will be separated in black border. Okay, so let's continue here. It's looking pretty good so far. Actually, I already have this copied. So TD. I'm really starting to think I should have copied that now because I think these all do the same thing. Color last child. Oops. What is this? Border bottom color inherit. Okay, not much of a difference, but at the end it'll all come together and it'll look really good. Okay, so there's another one right here. This one's a bit more specific, so TR you want to say nth child, fifth. So the fifth TR in the T body, and then TDs that have class is equal to color. So that's going to fix, that should have fixed this. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even do anything yet. It should be border bottom color white. So yeah, right here. Now you notice right here, this black border right here, it's coming down, it sort of cuts off right here. So what you want to do is, oops, I already have this. So let's say TR last child. Let's see what this is like. So this is making it so all these here, the bottom, have, it's just white. I mean, it's just blue, the border. And I still have to fix here. Okay, I thought this would do it. TDs, this should be border right color. So this is basically saying all, if it's ever the last, so each TR, each TD that's found in here that has the color on it, that's also the last child, so that will only be these ones. Then you want to change the border right. So that should fix that. Yeah. Okay, so this is looking pretty good right now. The only thing, and this is a very specific thing, but it's right here, this one that I've mentioned. So for that, we need a specific class. You want to say here, let's just say tBody, then dot previous month last day. And also if it's not a last child. So only do this if it's not a last child. So I'm going to be adding a class called previous month last day. So something like here, this is the previous month's last day. You want to change the border right, but only if it's not right here. So if this here, if it went to 31st, you would not want to target it because it would be a last child. So again, everything here is a last child. Because if you look at the calendar here, basically you have a TR and all of this are children and this is the last child. So these are all last childs. So that's what that's doing. Okay, let's finish this up here. Border right. 1 pixel solid black, and make this important. Okay, is the reason it's not doing that? It's not doing anything. It's because we actually have to add. So here, when it's building the current month, no, the previous month, I want to say if previous month count is equal to month data. So the index we're looking for is the previous month index. Then dot amount of days. So if this count right here, 30, is equal to the amount of days in the previous month, which is 30, so it's saying like if 30 is equal to 30, then you want to say days I, the current day, dot class list dot add previous month last day. Okay, let's check this out here. So you notice that that just sort of filled in right there. Let me go back and change it. So if you look right here, it'll change. It's a bit, the border here is white now. Okay, so it's good there. And one more thing to finish this off, and that is, if you wanted to optimize this thing for absolute speed, you might want to do it in a bit of a better way. But since this app is so small, it really doesn't matter. Computers are really fast at doing stuff. So you only really care about optimizing things when you're like, you know, things like video games or stuff like that. They need to be really optimized so they could be as, you know, as big as possible. But this is, you know, this is not going to be big, so you don't have to go out of your way to like optimize every single line of code. Basically what I'm saying here is when this is looping, this is going to be checking if the current cell contains this class list, contains this class, I mean. So the class is previous month last day. So you're saying that every time this loop iterates, you're doing this check. And there's a bit of a faster way to do this, but doing one extra check, and this loop right here, this is only going to contain 60 elements. So it's going to contain all these squares. So it doesn't really matter to do one extra check for each iteration at this point. If this went up to like, you know, if it had like 1,000,000 or something, you might not want to do an extra check for each 1,000,000 items, because then changing this could make your app run like half a second faster or something. But right now, if you change this and made it a little bit faster, you might make it like 0.4 milliseconds faster, which isn't worth it. It's not really worth it. So yeah, you want to say cells I dot class list, whoops, dot remove this one, the previous month last day. Let's just copy it. Okay, so now every time it same thing with the colors. When you add the color class to an element, when you build the next month, you don't want it to persist. So right here, if you put the class of previous month last day, it will stay here. Then on the next month, it would stay there again. So let's just see what that would look like. Let's take that out. Okay, it doesn't really make any change here. But here you could see it. So once these are set to black, it sort of messes it all up now. So now instead of these being white, these all have that class on it. So you want to remove that class every time you build the table. Now it's good. So this is pretty much it. When it comes to building the table, this is basically all the functionality that it's going to have. In the next section, we're going to be able to click this button and change the theme. And then after that, we're going to start posting notes on the calendar, and then after that, we will add the PHP code and run the server, which isn't that bad. It's probably going to be a shorter section. I'm not sure, maybe not, but either way, it's going to be pretty simple. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let's keep going.